Hello, just a brief update. I mentioned in my last video that I've been painting up some 15mm Napoleonics recently, so just finished up the last little group, so I thought I'd put these up to have people to have a look at. Got a fairly large Austrian army. That guy's a bit wonky. Yeah, got a fairly large Austrian army anyway, and which I've been painting up over a couple of years now. I've still got quite a few to paint, but I've got more than enough for a game at the moment, so it's not urgent. But every now and again, when the mood takes me, I'll get a few figures out and paint them up just to work my way through them. At some point, I'll get to them. These guys are finished. I just need to base them, stick the flag on, and a bit of varnish, and then they're ready to go. I've got I've got figures from across the sort of Napoleonic period. For those of you that know, the Austrians started wearing these sort of leather helmets, and they sort of converted to shakos, I think, around 1805. So I've got a mixture, to be honest, but I kind of like I like both sets of figures, and I never really decided which I preferred. But I've got enough that I think when I've finished them, I'll probably be able to field a force from either time period if I want to. And alternatively, it's not the end of the world if you've got a few with the wrong types of hats on. And I figured that maybe there was a period in the middle where they didn't replace everything overnight, and perhaps there was a period where there was a bit of both going around on the field. But you know, whatever. Say they're only counters at the end of the day, aren't they? So I'm not too worried. Yeah, I just like the figures, and I just bought a bit of everything really. So yeah, these are the sort of earlier German infantry with green facings. I realised they were pointing in different directions, but I thought set them out this way you can see them from all angles. Yeah, so nice set of figures. These ones are Blue Moon figures, which you can get from Old Glory UK. Sarge has been bigging these up a little bit lately in his videos, and I agree with him entirely. They're really, really nice figures. I did try, because I've got an awful lot of these, as I say, and I sort of tried various different figure manufacturers, but in the end I settled on these ones. I don't know, there's just the right size and detail and everything about them just works for me. I did try some of the AB ones as well, and they're highly raved about, but I didn't quite get on with them as well, to be honest. I'm not sure why, but they just didn't quite. I just preferred these when it came down to it. So yeah, as I say, these are the German infantry. There's a few other units as well. I'll put these up next. Yeah, and these are later period Hungarian infantry with their shako. Again, yeah, Blue Moon figures. Not a lot else to say. There's not a lot more not vastly different to what we had before. The main difference between the German and the Austrian, and the German and the Hungarian figures rather, is the Hungarian soldiers had the blue trousers rather than white trousers. I think, to be honest, it's one of the things that attracted me to the Austrian army. When I first started out, there's just so many different colours. They just look so impressive. So it's the second unit I've done. All these done over the last sort of week or two. There's another one as well. And these guys were billed as guerrilla fighters. There's a few of these knocking around. I picked up a pack of about 50 of them, I think. So I've done the others previously, and this is just finishing them off. So they're a lot more irregular. So there's lots of different colours going on, and no particular uniform. But yeah, nice. Again, nice set of figures. These were old Glory, if that makes sense. So Old Glory used to do a range of figures that I think they sold them off to a company called, I think it's Timecast, and Old Glory now market Blue Moon figures. So these are the old Glory figures that I picked up from Timecast at a show a couple of years ago. Yeah, as I say, another nice set of figures. I don't know how often I'll use these on the in a game, because they're pretty irregular and won't stand up to much scrutiny on the in a battle, I don't think. But yeah, they're just for variety really. When I first started putting this army together, I just bought anything I could find really, any different Austrian unit or troop I could find I bought, just because I wanted to have a bit of everything. So yeah, nice figures. I've also done some casualty figures, so I'll put them up in a sec. These are some foot casualties. I've taken them from various different manufacturers, so I can't remember exactly which are which. I think there's definitely some AB in there. Beyond that, I can't remember. There'll be some Essex ones in a minute as well, but yeah, I think they're mainly AB and possibly some others. But nice figures. I think again we need to finish basing them, but they will end up being used as sort of disorder or some sort of fatigue markers or something, depending on which set of rules we're using. Yeah, nice set of figures. Hopefully add a little bit of character, something different, so they're enjoyable to do. I've also done some cavalry casualty figures, which I'll put up in a second. Yeah, these represent fallen cavalrymen. These were Essex miniatures, which are nice figures, but they're really very small. They're probably 15mm compared to a lot of new figures, which are probably more like 18. So yeah, they do. I've got a couple of units of Essex, but they do look quite small compared to everything else. So they weren't perfect, but they're nice figures, and certainly for using for casualty figures, things like that, they'll be fine. So yeah, that's what I've been doing the last week or so. I finished those boars, I think, some point last week, and then since then I've done those three units pretty quickly. So they're all primed already, so they didn't have take too much to do. I've got them all set out on lollipop sticks as well, which makes them pretty quick to paint. So yeah, another little addition to that army. Just need to finish basing them and everything. And then, as I said, I've just started painting up some mounted boars. Just started the horses this evening. And then when I've done those, we'll be moving hopefully to the American War of Independence. That's the plan anyway, unless something catches my eye in the meantime, you know what it's like. But yeah, that's where we are. So yeah, I hope that was interesting for somebody. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Still watching your videos and enjoying them. Thanks for making them. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care.